Psalm 46 opens with bold declarations about God's character and protection. The tone shifts from the wedding celebration of Psalm 45 to a confident proclamation of divine strength. This psalm comforts God's people during times of upheaval and danger. The superscription reads, "To the chief musician for the sons of Korah, a song upon Alamoth." The sons of Korah were Levitical singers who served in temple worship. Alamoth reveals a musical setting or style, possibly referring to a particular tune. Verse 1 begins with a description of God. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Psalm 46, verse 1. Each phrase builds upon the previous one, creating a complete picture of divine protection. God is our refuge presents the first image. A refuge is a place of safety, a shelter from danger. When storms threaten, people seek refuge. God himself becomes that safe place for his people. This is not a temporary refuge, but a permanent dwelling place of safety. And strength adds another dimension. God does not protect his people by standing still. The Lord empowers his people. God's strength enables them to stand firm when everything around them crumbles. This strength comes from God alone, not from human resources or abilities. A very present help in trouble completes the description. Very present means readily available. God does not delay his help or remain distant when his people cry out. In trouble identifies the specific time when this help arrives. Trouble refers to distress, anguish, and affliction. When believers face their darkest moments, God stands ready to assist. This verse establishes the foundation for what follows. God's character remains constant regardless of circumstances. He does not change when situations worsen. Verse 2 builds on this foundation. Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea. Psalm 46, verse 2. The word therefore connects this verse to the previous statement. Because God is refuge, strength, and help, fear becomes unnecessary for his people. We will not fear is a declaration of confidence. Fear is a natural human response to danger. Yet, faith overcomes fear. Perfect love casts out fear, and God's perfect love toward his people removes the basis for terror. Though the earth be removed describes catastrophic upheaval. The earth represents stability and permanence, but when the ground beneath one's feet disappears, nothing remains secure. This phrase speaks of total chaos and the dissolution of everything stable. And though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, intensifies the image. Mountains symbolize permanence and immovability. Yet even these massive structures could be torn from their foundations and hurled into the ocean. Mountains cast into the sea would create unimaginable destruction. These images describe the worst plausible scenario. They represent complete cosmic disorder. Yet even in such circumstances, God's people need not fear. Their security rests not in earthly stability, but in God himself. Verse 3 continues the description of chaos. Though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof, Selah. Psalm 46, verse 3. The waters thereof refers to the sea mentioned in verse 2. Roar describes the sound of violent waves crashing and surging. Be troubled speaks of agitation and turbulence. The sea becomes a raging force of destruction. Though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof, presents another scenario. The force is so great that even mountains tremble. This describes a disaster of cosmic proportions. Selah appears at the end of this verse. This musical notation expresses a pause for reflection. The reader should stop and meditate on what has been stated. Think about the contrast between the chaos described and the confidence expressed. It demands contemplation.